Today in studio, we have such a treat. We have Ariane Duarte, top chef. For my clients who recognize Ariane from our 2016 cooking, what do you call it?
It was like a
party,
cooking demo.
The demo,
Party
right.
With the, is he still the chef of?
No.
Oh, okay.
He's not with Ideal
He
Protein
was like
anymore.
the Frenchman or
Yes.
Canadian, or I mean, know what he was, but he was
fantastic.
He was really good.
That was a fun night. So Ariane's with us here in studio to talk
Yes.
about cooking with us. So Ariane, for those who don't know you, please
So
tell them who you are.
Okay, well, thank you for having me. This is quite an honor, and I'm excited. If you do know me, you know I've had a couple of restaurants. One was Culinarian, that was in Montclair, and we had that for 9 years. And then our most recent in Verona, Ariane Kitchen and Bar for 7 years, which we sadly just closed our doors. We sold the business. So just I'm taking some time off right now to figure out what do I want to be when I grow up.
No.
If I ever grow up.
Don't ever grow up, Ariane.
No.
Don't ever grow up.
But I will never lose, my thoughts of food and my desire to cook. So this is really great to keep me involved and keep me creative with your Ideal Protein, and then my little tips to spice it up, if you will, a little bit.
Exactly, and that's why too we wanted to have you on, because a lot of people don't know how to cook.
Yeah.
And if you don't know how to cook, and now you're on the Ideal Protein, well, you think it's a little. Sorry, I don't mean to be a little bit bitchy, but people really don't know how to cook.
It's true.
It's true, and now they're a little bit more restricted in what they can use, and we help, right? In the office, we try to really help people and give them recipes on how to cook and what to cook.
Yeah.
But coming from a top chef, because I know you personally and you're very humble, but we do have to say that in 2015,
I think 16.
15, you beat Bobby Flay?
Oh, I did.
Not only did she beat Bobby Flay, you kicked his butt.
And I'll do it again.
And you would do it again. She kicked his butt.
Yeah, that was really exciting.
And that was with your filet mignon.
Yes. My filet.
Filet. Oh, filet. Oh, filet. Bobby Filet. Oh, I got that.
You never knew that?
No, I never knew that.
All the
sorry.
times it was on the menu, you never got it?
Filet mignon. Yeah, we started calling it filet mignon.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
And we ordered like 10 of them the one night we were
exactly.
there. And I didn't notice it.
I was still making it. It was one of the last dishes we made at AKB. I had to bring it back. So.
Oh, that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, I can't believe. See, you learn something new every day. But I really wanted to talk to you about vegetables because people don't know how to flavor their vegetables. So what is the best way to cook? The Ideal Protein method of cooking vegetables to get flavor?
Well, I think, I know you have to use a lot of raw vegetables. So getting creative is maybe shaving and making some sort of slaw.
Well, they can cook them. They can cook some vegetables.
But what I'm saying is, because there is, a nice large variety of raw vegetables you can use. So as an accompaniment to a dish, if you don't want to cook, let's say you don't want to cook, let's say it's hot in the summer and you want to do shaved cabbage or shaved broccoli, shaved cauliflower, alfalfa sprouts, and then you take a little bit of vinegar, maybe a little bit of your flaxseed oil or your hemp oil. You got to get creative and then spice it up with maybe, cumin, or kind of getting into a different range of spices, like going out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, I don't think people like to go out of their comfort zone when it comes to flavors and spices, right?
You should.
But there's so much, but I don't think that they should, but I don't think they know how to.
Yeah. And you know what it is too? It's not complicated. It's not difficult. I think people get scared or because they've never done it and they're unsure and they don't want to mess up. But you know what? Messing up is the best thing that can happen to you, because it's the only way we learn.
Right.
Is making a mistake and then fixing it. Some of my best dishes were because I made a mistake. So you have to just remember it's to have fun and be creative and just kind of let it go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like dancing. You know, you just kind of let it go. I always call it dancing in the kitchen.
Right, that's a good analogy
Yeah.
because everyone's stiff when they dance,
Yeah.
and you just have to
Gotta
let it go.
Let it go, and then
Yeah.
you know, and then I mean, we could go on forever with making a cauliflower puree, or but it's using your chicken stock, your vegetable stock, maybe reducing it a little bit to give it a little more flavor. Maybe we were talking earlier about maybe learning to make a garlic chip.
Did you ever hear of garlic chips?
Never.
So-
Ariane, please, can you explain that to everybody?
I'm making this up. I mean, I've made garlic chips, but we've always fried them.
Mm-hmm.
So on the ride here, I'm thinking you slice a garlic clove,
Mhm.
really paper thin. You spray it with your spray because you can use
Pam.
the Pam,
Sure.
and then sponsorship, and then you lay them out in a really low, let's say 200-degree oven. It might take some time, and then they'll get nice and crispy.
Huh.
See, when Ariane was saying garlic chips, I thought she meant like on a chip.
Right.
I'm like, no, I
Mm-mm.
didn't understand that. No, it's just straight garlic.
But then what do you do with it?
Eat it.
Put it on your broccoli.
Put it on your broccoli.
Put it on your fish, your meat,
Or like a
whatever.
salad, I
Your
guess?
salad, because I always love texture.
Right.
I just think you always have to hit, you
That's
have
a great point. You need texture.
You have to have texture. It's in our heads. It's
Right.
in our mouths. It completes your whole dining and eating experience.
Mhm.
If you just ate a jar, I'm thinking baby food, but just a bowl of, pureed butternut squash
Mhm.
or carrot or whatever, even just a plain bowl of cauliflower puree, I just think you need something to just bring it to that next, so you're satisfied.
Right. I always tell clients too, some of them always say how they're hungry or they feel like they're not getting enough with their vegetables, but I always say add something with a crunch.
Yeah.
Because for me, I don't know if it's maybe a mental thing or
Yeah.
whatever, but I always feel like I'm eating more and I'm more full if I'm chewing, if there's
Right.
a crunch,
Yeah.
if there's texture.
It's psychological. Could you take even like the nacho chips? Can you
Sure.
like even crumbling, crushing?
I tell people that all the time.
It's so great.
Yeah.
Those dill pickle zippers things.
Oh, you love those. I love them too. I
them.
think they're great.
I just think that on like chicken or piece of fish and then
Adds
maybe
the
throw
crunch.
some capers in there, so you're just kind of adding to that
Mm-hmm.
vinegar. You get your jowls going.
So so you believe also too, people eat with their eyes.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So it's got to be presentable
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Because think about it, cauliflower puree. It's just a white.
It's
and
bland.
it's
Yeah.
very bland.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really bland.
Yeah.
How about roasting garlic? And how do you roast garlic?
So you can just wrap it in foil. What I would do, either you could use already peeled cloves, or you could half like a whole head of garlic,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe throw some stock in there and just wrap it in your foil and put it in the oven and almost steam it.
No salt or pepper.
Oh, sure.
You can use salt,
Yeah.
pepper.
Yeah, I don't, because I find when I use roasted garlic, I'm always adding it to something that I'm going to already season.
Okay.
So you never.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So you don't want to over salt, and I'm all about layering too. That's another cooking technique or trick. It's all about the layering, step
What do
by
you mean
step.
by that?
So step by step. So let's say we're going to boil our broccoli. It's season the water, season the stock, add your broccoli, you take it out. If you're going to shock it in like your water bath, you need to salt your water bath, because if you're just going to put it in an ice bath with no salt, then you're defeating the purpose of putting it in that salted water, because you're just going to put it in
Kind of, yeah.
plain water, and it's
Okay.
just going to kind of dilute it or just wash all that salt out of there.
Mm-hmm.
So you put it in some seasoned ice water, then you're going to take it out, and then you're going to do whatever you're going to do with it, whether it's a little saute with your Pam or your
Little olive oil.
a little bit of olive oil, and then your little garlic chip on it. So you figure, I've already salted so much, I don't want to add more salt.
Right.
Okay, so that's a good point.
Yeah. Also, what's great too is, God, I have so many tricks now and tips, is toasting like chilies. Like adding, like I love toasting my garlic or my
How do you toast
onion.
garlic?
Well, if you just cook it till it gets a little brown.
Okay.
Like before it gets burnt. Like instead of having raw garlic, so think about it. If you're eating like sauteed spinach with just garlic with no color, it's very pungent. Where if you just let it get little golden, it just gives it a whole nother level.
So you do believe that burned garlic is bitter? Because my grandmother, all she did was burn garlic.
No, I'm going to tell you, there is a point of burnt to not burnt. So yes, dark is very good. You know, getting it dark, but you never want it black.
Mine always comes black, and then my pan like almost catches fire.
No. My grandmother would get it really dark, and I used to say, people say it gets bitter, but my grandmother's was never bitter.
And it's not. But it's something you have to really babysit. You got to watch because it goes like that.
Yeah, my apartment's almost on fire whenever I cook.
Blink,
I'm like, fuck.
in a blink of an eye, it turns. Because if it's chopped or if it's, smashed and the pan's hot, it's gonna
burn quickly.
Yeah,
right.
Because it's so it's small, it's tender, it's there's not much to it. So
for vegetables, what do you think is the best? Well, what's braising?
So braising is cooking in a liquid for a long period of time.
Oh, I thought that was poaching.
Poaching is on the stove and braising's in the oven.
Oh, okay. See, did you know that?
No,
I didn't know that at all.
And you poach, you don't cover it. Where you braise, you'll likely do cover it. So let's say you take your and maybe your heartier vegetables like your celery I don't know what.
Like turnips? Could you do turnips?
I was going to say rutabagas.
Or rutabaga. You
turnips, any of that stuff, and then you season it up. Maybe you add your spices, and let's think about fall. It's fall right now, so maybe you're going to add sage, cinnamon,
to your
ginger,
vegetables. You would add
cloves.
cinnamon to your vegetables?
Yes.
See, I would never think that.
Yes. You have to remember, and then you're gonna add your chicken to it, and once it cooks for so long and gets so tender, all the flavors come out of the vegetables, and then those spices just accent it a little bit. So you're not just eating rutabaga, you're getting all these smells. First of all, you're going to open that up and you're going to be like, oh my God, that first quaff of all that, it's going to be amazing. And you're going to be like, oh my God, what did I just create? This is amazing.
See, and then you're satisfied.
You're so satisfied.
Yeah.
Ooh. And you're like, oh, very good.
Yeah. So that's very interesting. I've never braised vegetables at all. So that's actually better than grilling, because grilling takes a lot of olive oil, and you can't really have a lot of olive oil.
And I find, I come up in the 80s era of cooking, and I just always remember those grilled veggie platters. It was always like the zucchini, the red pepper.
Oh yeah, it was typical.
And they always tasted the same, and they were never either cooked enough or they were overcooked. And they never had enough salt. Never have enough salt. They never. So you can grill, but maybe like you said, you might want to use, instead of using the oil, maybe you're going to use your spray. So you can, generously get them not to stick on your grill.
Right.
Yeah.
I love grilling romaine hearts.
See, that's fun.
That's one of my favorite things to do in the summer.
A couple slices of anchovy right on that.
Nope.
No?
Missed me on the anchovy.
Oh, really?
Sorry.
Oh, see, I would love that.
I've never done that.
Grilling the romaine?
Really?
Yeah.
Never done that.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not a very good person that grill. My grilling of vegetables is not good.
No, I give it to my mom or my dad or Matt, and I'm like, cook it.
And again, with grilling too, it's all in the seasoning. If you it's interesting because you should definitely do like a test, like a side by side. You do it what you would normally do. Let's say, oh, this is how I always do my grilled vegetables, and then maybe you do another set of grilled veg where you spice them up. You season them a little bit more. You just go a little bit more. And even if it comes to measuring, like let's say you do 1 teaspoon here and then maybe a teaspoon and a half here. It's all trial by error.
Right. Just try it.
You got to just try it.
Now, proteins. You'd be very proud of me. There was a video that I just did. Actually, my mother. I have to give my mother credit for this. Shrimp. I seasoned it really well.
Yeah.
Used a little bit of olive oil.
Yeah.
Cooked the shrimp and then added water, and the spices and the water almost made a juice. They made a juice. My mother just recently did that with chicken, and it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I have to ask you, how do you grill chicken or cook chicken where it's not dry?
Don't cook it too long.
Is that really it? Is that really the culprit?
So, brining's a big thing for chicken, which is usually in like salted water. So you can take salt water. I actually steep tea in mine, like Earl Grey tea.
And for your chicken?
Let's say, yep. Or the tea bags that you always get from the Chinese food.
Yeah.
You save them. You put it in, you boil some water. You put in some salt. And maybe a little bit of sweetener.
Like a Splenda?
A Splenda. And then maybe a little fresh thyme, garlic clove, your tea bags. You let it steep. And then you're going to put your chicken in that.
And how long
At least 2 hours, if not overnight, depending on like if it's a nice big chicken breast, overnight is fine. Your pork you can do with that.
So
salmon.
Can you leave it in salmon? Can you leave it in too long?
Yes.
So
and you'll know.
So just
It'll
like
get
a 20.
real hard.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't. I'm overnight or 2 to 4 hours.
All right. This may be a ridiculous question. You do not rinse it after. That would be like taking the salt and everything out.
No, you wouldn't rinse it. No, you can pat it dry. Absolutely.
So is that the best way to tenderize meat?
It's a great way to tenderize meat. We can also get into curing, which is, my signature pork chop, juniper, coriander, black pepper, salt. I use brown sugar, but instead we could do a little bit of our Splenda. Garlic, you just puree it and you make a paste and then you just kind of rub it on.
That sounds phenomenal.
And look at it, and it's all in the guidelines.
100%.
It's all in the guidelines.
I think I don't think people are using the spices to their benefit.
Because they don't know them.
Right.
Everybody knows salt, pepper, garlic salt, onion powder.
Garlic powder.
Like if you went into your clients' kitchens, which that's could be really fun, is doing like a raid their pantry.
Could you imagine?
That would
Knock
be amazing.
You know what? We could do that. We can have people put their name in so that they know that they have a chance, pick their name, and just randomly knock on their door.
And then we can get them like new sets of spices. That's so cute.
Ariane, that's a great idea.
Merry Christmas.
We're coming for you guys.
We're
coming for you. We're looking in your pantries. That's great.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. And then if you go in there, you're going to see they'll have dry basil, they'll have the black pepper, they'll have garlic and onion powder. Just kind of trying to go through mine.
Oregano.
Maybe oregano. That's a little. You'll definitely have like a basil or an Italian seasoning.
Yeah, which I don't know what that means when it says Italian. I guess it's basil, oregano.
It's a little bit of everything
everything
all mixed together.
Is there
you
there
might
a dry
find like a marjoram, like a random.
Oh,
you'll find something
from
random.
like 1980s?
Exactly.
100%. I probably just I probably do have it.
I have it.
Where would you use that?
My grandmother used to always put it in her meatballs.
What is it?
She did?
My grandmother put it in her meatballs. Yeah.
Did you when you did the meatball challenge?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't do it anymore. I never, I did it maybe when she was alive and I would do it at home, but then I kind of just.
Right.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Is there a spice that should not be dried that you would say it's not worth your it's just lost its flavor, or maybe it's because people keep them too long.
Yeah. And also another great tip. I mean, if they're dried, they're dried. I mean,
They're fine.
I'd like to think, McCormick, sponsorship.
There.
Know what they're doing. But another great tip on your dry spices is when you're putting them into your dish is you just give them a nice rub. So it releases the oils.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Which is great. And also toasting. Toasting is great. Toast your coriander, toast your juniper, toast your cumin.
So do that on just a dry pan.
Dry pan.
And then cook it in
Just
whatever you're cooking.
Toast it up. And then you can either, grind it in your mortar pesto, or I grind it in a blender, because a coffee grinder. And then you make your own. It's really great if you, and I understand, we are all busy, and we are. I mean, our lives get crazy. So is it easier to buy ground cumin already? Absolutely. But if you can, any whole spice, if you can buy them whole, they'll last you longer. And then if you can, grind them yourself, it's just like coffee beans.
Yes.
If you've ever had the ground coffee out of you rip it open, you put it in, you brew it, but then you do your own.
It's amazing. The difference is amazing.
Yeah.
I have
And
a grind
again,
and
the
brew.
smells. It's like the
Yeah,
smells.
the smell.
Yeah, every day I hear about that grind and brew.
I love that grind and brew.
Every day.
Yeah.
I got an espresso.
Nobody hears
His mother,
about your,
you know why?
You're grinding, me opening up the
His
or
mother.
putting the Keurig in. And
I was at a party at Gabe's house, and his mother had the grind and brew.
Oh yeah.
And I went and got
It's
it.
the
It's the
best
best
thing,
purchase.
yeah.
It's the best everything. Then
Oh,
I
you
got an
did?
espresso because everyone
Yeah.
said you have to
Oh,
get
the
an espresso.
yeah.
I
great.
went back to my grind and brew.
Yeah. Oh really?
Nothing like it. Nothing like it. It's whole bean.
Yeah, it is.
The Starbucks whole
And
bean,
that's
and
what
it's
they
great.
say. Once you get go whole bean, you never go back.
Yeah.
They say other things too,
Well.
but we don't have to. We're not going there today.
We're not going there, Gabe. That's funny. That's funny. But I think you're right. I think people, you walk away more satisfied if you have flavors, texture, and it's not just. Well, you were also sharing that you would take the Ideal Protein soups and spice them up.
Yeah, I always loved the mushroom, adding fresh mushroom, spinach, taking the broccoli, adding the fresh broccoli to it, because then it's hearty. You're satisfied. You're
Right.
eating this. You never want to think you're on a diet. So when you're eating something that, and we all have to watch our weight and watch what we have to do, but the more you think about it, or the more it feels like you're eating on a diet, I think the harder it is.
It becomes harder.
It becomes harder. So if you can take something and add to it where it becomes more homemade, and it's delicious, and it's filling you up, and you're feeling, you're seeing green.
Right.
You're seeing it's not just little flakes of something, you see these nice big chunks of broccoli in it, or some spinach and mushrooms, so it's heartier.
Yeah, no, it's true. And the people that do cook and cook well when they're doing Ideal Protein, the rest of the family doesn't realize that it's just an Ideal Protein meal.
Yeah.
They're all getting healthy.
Oh, absolutely.
And they really like
yes.
it.
Yeah.
Like you can have great food. You can really eat great.
Yeah, you just have to know how and take the chin.
And once because even I'm learning. So once you get the hang of it, then it's just it's like natural.
Right. It's like 1, 2, 3.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think is the most underused spice?
Underused spice. Well, I'll tell you. Like I think Indian spices.
Indian spices are flavorful.
And those are so flavorful. Even like blended things, and also like looking into spices that are blended, maybe with no sodium, but they still have so much flavor in them.
Right.
But I think Indian spices, people are really unfamiliar with them.
I think that again, they're scared.
Yeah.
And they're not
Yeah.
scared. They just don't know how
They
to
just
use
don't
them.
know.
They just don't
Yeah.
know.
They tend to be intimidating or a little stronger, or really, something, the aromas just might be, ooh, they could be too spicy.
I did that with saffron one
Oh,
Thanksgiving.
yeah.
Can't stand saffron.
Yeah.
What
I
is
bet.
it? Is it spicy?
It's
No.
expensive.
It's expensive, but
In the recipe called for a drop of saffron, and I'm saying this
They're
with the
like
amount I was
threads.
making. I'm saying there's no way.
yeah.
So I think I put the whole thing.
Oh my
It was
gosh. Yeah.
awful.
Really?
It
It
gets
was
to a
awful.
point where it almost I don't know if it's a weird flavor.
I've
So
never
if you
never
use too
gone near it.
much, it's like
That's all you
it's
taste?
like in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all you taste.
Huh.
Also, shrimp and lobster. How do you flavor it?
Definitely by seasoning if you're gonna boil lobster, I always say salty like the sea. You know, if you're gonna boil,
Even the
adding-
shrimp, right?
even the shrimp, lemon, in your bay leaf in your water, whole peppercorn, really flavor that water. Because when it comes out, I mean, it lives in the sea. You want it to taste where it comes from. You don't want to put it in just water.
So the key to shrimp, lobster, any of your seafood is just to flavor and salt, like the sea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
that's your first step.
All right.
And then if you're going to, whatever you're going to. And don't forget, I mean, you can eat those with your salad. You don't have to have them hot. I mean,
What you said too about the ideal protein soups, I think is key, and I think we really have to hone that. The soups are so filling,
I love
and
the
people
soups.
want to grab
Really?
a bar.
I do.
Yeah, the soups are. People want to grab a bar or a bag of chips, and
Yeah.
that's it, and that's not going to
No.
satisfy you. So if you sit down and have a meal, because a lot of people say to me, "I don't have time," and you know what I say to them?
It
What
takes
did you?
2 minutes.
What did you
can't
eat?
overboil that stuff because if you do, forget about
Right.
it. Yeah,
No, you can't.
You can't.
It takes 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And what did you eat before you did ideal protein? So you took the time to eat whatever you were eating.
Yeah.
You can take 2 minutes and eat the soup. And I think
Yeah.
if you do it the way you're saying with the spices and the vegetables, it really is
Yeah.
hearty.
I'm going to tell you this. It's just getting it here and just repetition and
Right.
learning. Because, I mean, look at you. You're an ideal,
Oh, success.
Success,
God bless them.
yeah.
Yeah.
and I bet it wasn't easy in the beginning, but then you learn, and I see you because you're
Right.
great on social media, posting, making a shake, and what
Right.
you do and adding to it, and it's just again trial by error, and then just repeating and repeating.
Right.
Okay.
And it's all mental. And it's all
It
about
is. It
making
is.
those lifestyle
So
changes.
Right.
and getting it ready,
Right.
getting yourself organized in a different way, but it's nothing that is so that you can't do it.
You can't.
Right.
No, you absolutely can do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely can do it. Before we close, though, today, I have to ask you this because all my clients will crack up laughing because I always told them when they go to a restaurant, and you can tell me if I'm right or not.
Oh, gosh. I
that
know what you're
a
going to
lot
say.
of people put butter on, a lot of chefs will put butter on the steak at steakhouses
Oh.
and things like that.
Yeah.
Tell them that you have an allergy because once you use the word allergy,
Yeah, then
they're not going to do it. Is that
I am not telling you the secrets.
I'm a
Yeah.
nightmare.
I'll tell you this. I can't speak for every chef, but for me and in my kitchen, I take allergies extremely serious. So if you tell me you have an allergy, we will never put butter.
That's what I said.
And I don't
won't.
put butter on my steak.
You don't.
I don't.
What's the best way to make a steak? Salt, pepper, right?
That's it.
Salt and pepper.
I love roasting garlic. I love my steak. Personally, I love roasted garlic, or and it all depends. I mean, flank steak, I like putting the soy sauce on it, and red hot chili flakes. Then my fillet, I like rubbing it in roasted garlic, or my ribeye, and then maybe grilling it. I love searing a steak.
Okay. See, I'm learning a lot.
Yeah.
And I thought I knew. I'm a cook. I cook.
Yeah,
But I
and
learned a lot.
it's not just salt, pepper. It's like a crust.
Make a crust.
I've seen that
Yeah.
on TikTok, actually. Not
Yeah.
taking cooking advice from TikTok. I'd rather take it from you, but
Well, I like to think
Listen.
I could be TikTok material then.
You are
I think
TikTok
so.
material. There's recipes on TikTok.
yeah, there
Yeah.
I
are.
think they posted mine on TikTok, the shrimp. I'm not sure if they did or not,
A
but
lot
I'll show
of-
it to you.
Let me tell you, a lot of the TikTokers. They're really good.
They are cooking with Shireen. I love her.
You know what? I don't
She's my
have
fave.
TikTok.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Don't. It's like a black hole.
Don't. It's,
Yeah.
it's an
Yeah.
absolute.
Well, that's all. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours later you look
Yeah.
up, you're like, what's going on? The
It's
day's
already
gone.
it's
Yeah,
bad
you
enough
can't.
that I like Candy Crush. You know.
Oh.
I love Candy Crush.
Me too.
I love Candy. I
Yeah.
do compress
You
with
put
Candy
Candy Crush and TikTok together, forget
No,
it.
that's right. You don't believe in the house. And we have too much to do. We have too much to do. In fact, you know, and there's things to come with Ariane, and we wanted to put it out there. We're going to start hopefully doing cooking classes with our clients, which is key.
Teaching you, especially like the basics.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You know,
Because the basics go a long way.
Let's start from the very beginning. A very good place to start.
And we'll cook a meal and then sit down and have the meal.
And we'll eat
talk.
together and
That
we'll
would be
talk
wonderful.
and we'll discuss and
What better to learn from Top Chef Ariane Duarte? What else? I mean, there's nothing better than that. And then
you know
they
what?
can eat
Get
with
me
you.
now while I'm free.
Exactly. We have to start to book it now, Gabe.
Book it now.
Call Gabe at the front desk.
Yeah, exactly.
So call Gabe at the front desk if you would like to have a cooking class with Ariane.
And also that we're gonna maybe come knocking on their doors.
And knock on their door to
Not
do the
knock.
pantry.
Not
Bust
knock,
down,
bust
baby.
in.
Bust down that door and we're going to check out pantries.
Don't worry, we'll
That's
pay for
great.
your door to be repaired, okay? Or I'll personally repair it.
Call Gabe at the front desk.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Ariane, it's been such a pleasure. I can't
you.
thank you enough.
Thank you.
And you'll come back?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I look forward to it.
Terrific.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
This is great.